Hey guys, welcome back. Should be welcome back, well it kinda depends, because depends if you checked out the Bethesda Launcher thingamajiggy. This segment is the Rage 2 under the hood. I think we're going with. It was going to be under the bonnet, but let's go with under the hood, because UK and all that. And check out the settings options and that kind of thing. So this is what happens when I run it. You get this thing popping up here, so if you want to be curious about that Bethesda.net thing, this helper thing, I've got to say yes, I suppose. And you get that pop up. We're on the Windows PC here. It's available on the Xbox and PlayStation 4 as well. Not sure if it's available on Mac. It's not an Epic Games exclusive, you'll be happy about. And we'll see what's going on. Cut this intro music, it's got some music. And yeah, let's see what's going on with it. I got the settings, or show you what settings I'm on. I should tell you what system I have. So I have a oh, what was it? I had the window up. I think I can click out. So mine's is a Ryzen 7 1700X 3.4 octo core. I think it's 8, right? 8 core processor. AMD, obviously. Graphics card is a Geforce RTX 2060. 6 GB of memory on that. This recommends 8 GB of memory on the graphics card, so you wouldn't be thinking about that. Thinking about getting the graphics cards, try and get one that's got 8 gigs, just to cover you completely. But yeah. Alright, so as you can see, I've done a little tests. Literally done about 1 minute of gameplay to test, see the performance and everything else. Let's go under the hood, see what's what. So obviously you have the obligatory things like new game and so forth. We've got the little information on the right there. Tells us what we already know since we're in the game. It's out. It's time to get out and take back the wasteland. That wasn't a very good voice, was it? Anyway, so yeah, it's just to make sure you know that
Rage 2
is out. So yeah, you have you load your friends, and this is the thing. If you look, you can run the game without the launcher. If you do, it tells you that the Bethesda Launcher thing's not running, and this you can't select friends, and the store doesn't work when you press it. So I've never been in the store part yet. So friends, as ever, 0. Such is life. And store, I've never been in. Let's see what that's about. I know on Steam I saw there was a thing to purchase credits and all that. So I don't know, unless this makes you feel like
raging,
that you can buy stuff in a single player game. But that's Bethesda for you. So this looks like skins.
hell no, to the no, 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 hell to the no, hell to the no.
Golden wing stick, why? I don't understand skins in a single player game. Like in this context of a shooter. In this, I don't know. Is it? Am I weird? Do I know what I'm talking about? Am I talking rubbish? Does this seem kind of silly? I mean, no one else can see it unless you're recording yourself like a weirdo like me. I don't get it. So that's skins anyway. So if you want your assault rifle to be golden, Bethesda's got you with rage points. Oh, sorry, not rage points.
Rage coins.
So yeah, there's that. You can purchase those. See what happens if we press Y. Using the controller, by the way. It's opened up a browser link. You can't see that. You don't need to see it. But let me just see what the prices are. Actually, 1 second. I got it in borderless full screen. $3.99 it says there. There's a $3.99 one for 500 points. 1,100 points will cost you £8. £16 for 2,500 points, rage coins even, and 4,500 for £28. So yeah, £28 pretty much clear out the store. Also, well no, you won't be able to clear out the store actually. You'll be able to get like about 4 or 5 items. I don't know who's gonna buy this stuff. It's no. Anyway, so that's that. You got your statistics here as well. Obviously I've got statistics of 14 enemies kill count tests and the performance to see what settings I need to be using. Trying to max it as much as possible. My graphics card, the Geforce RTX 2060, is a card that's aimed at the mid-range being maximum ultra settings on 1080p, and then maybe 1440p you can probably get medium, and then 4K on low. But obviously you can get a lot more out of it than that. I've got most of the games set at 1440p or 4K, and able to run them with most of the settings on, if not all of them, especially now that we're recording from 2 separate machines rather than just the one. Don't record on the same machine if you want to be able to do whatever. So you can see there's all that stuff there anyway. Ah, this must be what the friends thing is. Total friends avenged. Photos taken, I see. So yeah, you can see that. I don't want to read into too much of that because I don't want too many spoilers. You shouldn't either. But that's it. Let's check out the settings. That's what you're here for. I've put a timestamp. Well, hopefully that's what you're here for. So you have general settings, controller, keyboard and mouse, you're covered. We'll go into all of them real quickly. General settings, we've got a whole bunch of languages here, including Francais, Italiano, Deutsch, Espanol. I don't know what that is. Is that Russian? What is anyway, Polska? I think that's Japanese. Or is that Japanese? That could be Korean, or one of them. Is that like Thai or something? Or Hebrew or Thai maybe? And then that different kind of Americano, Espanol, and Portuguese. Alright, so you should be covered for you beginners. Voice wise, you've got less options. French, Italiano, German or Deutsch, Espanol, Russian, Polish, Spanish Latin America, and the Portuguese of the Brazil. So I've got subtitles on or off. I got that on because that's what you need for your gameplay walkthrough thingies, which should be linked into this video. You can just check out the first episode of the gameplay, the walkthrough, the meme-ness, all that good stuff. Reticle star, you can have it simple or off. I don't know what simple entails. I usually just have it default. Vehicle camera centering, and it's got descriptions on the right here as well, as you notice, which is quite handy and good for a setting system, because there's a lot of setting systems that don't tell you what things do, which is annoying to no end. This has some of that description stuff in there, which is nice. So select style of HUD reticle, as it says there. Automatically pull the camera to the center behind vehicles when driving. Well, it was on by default, so toggle down aim sight. I always have it as hold down instead of toggle, but you can change that if you don't like that. You can have the weapon wheel to be hold, a toggle instead of a hold action, sorry. And then focus mode, whatever that is, hold instead of toggle. So you got options there if you have a preference. Controller settings, sensitivity on the X and the Y. Aim down sight sensitivity is there. You can invert, if that's your thing, and vibration as well as standard. I'm using Xbox controller, Xbox One controller. Controller layout there. Whole bunch of different stuff, standard stuff there. All good. Can change the default and use alternatives. Probably some southpaw stuff going on there. All good. I think you can change it for each category. Oh no, for the set, yeah. So vehicle, alternative 2. You can change it for each set. That's cool. Alright, so you're covered there as well. So I'm sure there's some left-handed systems and stuff going on there. With the mouse settings, sensitivity, aim down sight sensitivity, invert as well, and I'm not sure what this is. Enable chroma effects. Enables the chroma card. Oh, I think that's the like light LED lights, Christmas lights thing on the mouse and things like that, and keyboard. I think it is. I think that's what that is. So if you got that, then yeah, yay. You can change all the bindings as well. All the bindings are there, which is a necessity for PC users, I'm pretty sure. So, does it have a quick save button and all that kind of thing? I don't know. Let's see. I don't want to read too much into these. I consider these kind of things kind of spoilies, almost. Anyway, you're covered for every category of thing. So that's pretty cool. Alright, now the video settings, the meat. So you can go windowed, borderless, full screen, which is my preference, and full screen. Now that brings me on to a thing. Sometimes in some games like Far Cry New Dawn, you can only get HDR on Windows if you're full screen. This game does not have HDR. at all, which is quite in my opinion, this game not having a HDR is quite shocking. Yeah, no HDR. So I'm the 4K size here, as you can see. That's my native television size. I don't know why it is higher than that. No, yeah, that's, yeah. You put that up higher, you're gonna stress your graphics card more and more. Monitor 0, I've got 3 monitors. So yeah, well, 2 monitors and 1 television, obviously makes 3. You can put on the VSync to, you know, have the tearing thing off, and there's an adaptive soft type thing mode that only does it when performance is low. I've got it on because I saw quite a bit of tearing personally. My preset is set to ultra at the moment. I tested it at the beginning and it seemed to work fine. We'll see in the playthrough soon enough if that's true or not. So you got your motion blur, you can turn that off. Field of view is there, it's always an important thing for PC people especially. So you got that covered. Chromatic aberration, if you don't like that stuff you can turn it off. Resolution scale is interesting. Now, this is something I think like the PlayStation Pro uses a lot of in terms of the 4K thing. Checkerboarding, I think it's somewhat to do with that. Quite a standard thing now. Far Cry, New Dawn has this as well. So basically, I could be wrong here, so feel free to correct me in the comments. But basically, it will render the game at a lower resolution to keep things running smooth, and then push things up when it's, you know, over smooth, if that makes sense. So you can set it to target FPS. Refresh rate on my TV maximum is 60, I believe, so no point going higher. But I'm sure you can go up to 120 and 140 if you're one of those. You know, those what do they call them? The what am I thinking? Not professional, professional? Yeah, you know, like
Pro gamers.
if you're one of those, you can go up to 140 and beyond. I don't know. Shit. Oh man, I got to take it back down in real time. Alright, there we go. Astrophotic terrain filtering. Descriptions are on the right, which is the main thing, which is nice. Because a lot of games don't have that. This, if you put also you have presets as well, which I've missed. So essentially, if you put it on a, when I started the game up, it recommended automatic settings for me was high, and all high does is change geometric details. It dropped it to high. That's what it was. Everything else was already maxed. I think it started me at 1080p though, and most of the recommended settings are based on 1080p as opposed to 4K. So this is 4K at the moment. I tested it with ultra and high, and I didn't see much difference. So I'm putting it on ultra. So as I say otherwise in the playthrough, assume it's on ultra. Everything's maxed. Again, no HDR, which is a bit shocking and kind of sad. Maybe missed opportunity with colours that's gone on in this game. It would have been beautiful. If you're playing on the console, you will be locked to what was it? I think it was. No, I think it's a 60 frames per second actually on the consoles, isn't it? I believe. But you don't get any other special features or anything like that. There's no 4K or HDR or anything like that. It's just 60 frames per second, which is probably more important to most people, I suppose. They prefer the frames per second rather than the visual pixel detail. I don't know. I kind of depends for me. I like the visual fidelity. I can live with 30 frames per second in the FPS, but some people can't. So if you're playing on console, you'll have that, but it will look uglier. There you go. And it's more money as well. So that's your video settings that I go through everything pretty much. Should be enough for you guys to look in. You got depth of field, global illumination, SSAO as ever. Let's go from ultra to high to low and all that. Pretty much the same, yeah. FXAA, so your anti-aliasing options, TAA, and FXA and TA combined. So yeah, good there. Shadows on your character, you can turn it on or off. And you have the reflections you can turn off if your computer can't handle it. Shadow resolution goes from ultra to low. Same for the lights. Shading quality, same deal. And you can turn off soft particles. Again, you can read the descriptions on the right. I should be going slow enough if you don't want to do that. So yeah, that's your options in terms of tweaking things. And as I was saying, minimum resolution scale. So as I'm understanding this, ready to game at a lower resolution, automatic scaling will not go below this scale. So I think that basically means that they can drop the scale of the pixel density to like up to 60% of what you have set, which I imagine would mean it could drop as far as, I don't know, like something like there. 60%. That's kind of maybe a bit too high. I probably might change that. Maybe I might go for maybe change it to 50%. So 4K is 4 times the density of I believe 4 times the density of 1080p. So 50% would be 60 should be fine actually. I think I'd probably drop it to about 1080p in stress situations, but keep it smooth. I haven't noticed any issue with it, but you can adjust that. And I think this is possibly where the 8GB thing comes into play. I don't know, but mine's a 6GB on the graphics card, and I haven't seen any issue. I haven't seen any heavy performance problems or what have you. So I don't know. We'll see when we're playing. I just want to show you guys the under the hood stuff first. Volume set at 90% as default. I don't know why. It's quite a loud game though. I turned my Elgato sound down. It's pretty high. I can demonstrate actually. It's a very loud game for some reason. See what I mean? Now you can't hear shit. That's at maximum. I got it about half. I've still got to figure out what good volume is for in-game, but yeah, I can tweak that thereafter if I need to, but on a separate channel anyway. So yeah, good thing is you have a master volume. You can separate the audio. It's not always a thing in games, especially older ones. A lot of them bundle audio together, so you can set the volume for the music, sound effects, and the voice separately, which is beautiful. Dynamic range. Let me see. Range between the quietest and loudest sounds. Choose a more compressed range for noisy listening environments. Okay, we are covered there anyway. Night mode, Night Rider mode, and insane mode. Tight hyper compressed range. I don't know what's best. Insane sounds good. I don't know if it should be on insane or if it should be on normal. Probably normal. I think on normal. I don't know what I'm doing there. I'll mess with that. But if you're playing at night time or something, or you got like noisy neighbors or a noisy person that does some serious farting issues, then that might help. On headphones, because listen for headphones. You got TV and full range, and yeah, and you can go stereo or surround, which does definitely sound a little different. Alright, so yeah, I'll leave it on stereo. And then you have Bethesda.net, which is showing my email address, which is great. Or one of them anyway. And let's just open up a link. That's okay. Don't watch that. And then you can look at the credits, and what happens if I press Y here? It says Y Bethesda.net. Let's see. Same thing. Okay. So Y button is the same as pressing Bethesda.net, so you know. And then credits, obviously, which we'll leave for when we finish the game, hopefully. So that's the under the hood of Rage 2. And next up will be the playthrough, gameplay, memeology, funness, and we'll see how it performs and stuff. So hopefully you'll join me for that. Don't forget to like, follow, share, and leave comments at the bottom. You think this is a good thing? This is probably going to be part 0 of the series, because I know that you don't want to really having this as a lead-in, but it's there for people that are interested. I like to give people information where I can, so that they can make purchasing decisions, and not just focus on my, my whole thing as an international entertainer, as I am, Just saying, you know. So yeah. Thanks for watching, and hopefully you'll be watching the gameplay next.